IGPL win against all the youngsters was something special because I hadn't won in last 13 years. And, you know, being a senior player now in my 50s, playing against youngsters and winning gives me a lot of confidence and also, gives me a hope that, I can compete with the youngsters. And IGPL has a very good standard of golf with all the youngsters. And the good part about IGPL is that um, we have a mixture of girls and boys playing. And it's one of the first tours in the world where, you know, top lady golfers, top professional golfers, and also amateurs who are good juniors or kids get a start to rub shoulders with these kind of professionals so that they can learn a lot from them. And winning there was something special for me because Sri Lanka has been special because my parents met out there years ago. The stories have been told by my parents, and after that they started dating each other, and then they married, and then came the family, and here I am today because of them.
All right. Okay. Now,
And
I'd like to
talking
know
about and
the
talking
relationship.
Suman
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah,
Suman
please carry
talking
on.
about the Scottish Open, it was something special because Scottish Open, home of golf, won it in 2012 in those windy conditions, links golf course. Golf started from Scotland, and you win the National Open there, which is considered one of the majors in the world, I would say. For me personally, it is one of the majors. So it is something special, and winning out there was amazing. And I hope somebody from India does the same thing, and instead of winning the Scottish, also winning the Scottish, hopefully winning the British Open one day too.
Okay, Ajit would like to know the relationship between Asian Tour and IGPL. Uh, in fact, I'd like to know the IGPL because is now building a stronger relationship with the Asian Tour and creating international opportunities for Indian professionals. How important is Asian Tour support in creating a genuine pathway for Indian golfers from domestic golf to the international stage?
I think it's a very good pathway. The relationship between IGPL and Asian Tour has become better over the years. They're giving a few spots to the players to get into the final stage, and also giving one spot to the top player so that he can play on the Asian Tour. So I think that's a very good start, firstly. Secondly, I think it's a good pathway for the IGPL players because Asian Tour is a very strong tour where you can, develop confidence, build on your game, and move on to the bigger tour. Plus, this year, the good part is that starting next year, Asian Tour is going to have a lot of co-sanctioned events with the DP World Tour, which gives an opportunity for the players when they're playing a co-sanctioned event, which is Asia and the DP World. And if you win that event, you get a 2-year exemption on the DP World, which is the European Tour. So I think it's a great start, and I think youngsters should take advantage of it and build on their confidence, dream big, and make the most out of it.
Okay, with the Asian Tour, DP Tour, you talked about DP World Tour, and PG Tour now strengthening their pathways and partnership. How do you see this changing the opportunities available to Indian professionals? What should Indian golfers be doing today to make the most of these opportunities?
I think end of the day, results speak for themselves. Indian professional golfers should just dream big, believe in themselves that not only can they play in India and win in India, they should be winning on the world stage. You've got to be thinking that Asian Tour is just a stepping stone for me. After that, I want to play on the biggest tour in the world, which is the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. And from there, after playing on those tours, the goal should be to become a top 50 player in the world. To answer your question, you've got to dream big. You got to believe in yourself, and the results count end of the day. And if you can do that, you have the whole world looking at you.
Okay, now the Asian Tour, but the Asian Tour has now realigned with PGA Tour and DP World Tour, while its earlier association with Live Golf has effectively come to an end. What does this changing global, golf landscape mean for the IGPL? I mean, basically, uh, what is the option now for the IGPL?
No, IGPL is still with the Asian Tour, and these changes are taking place. I'm sure the CEOs of different tours can answer that better. As a player, my duty is to just play on different tours and make sure that there's a livelihood for the players. Uh, so I think this question, I think the better thing would be the CEOs of different tours can answer that.
All right. Okay. Now, obviously, I mean, Yuvraj Singh has been the co-founder and brand ambassador of IGPL, while the PGTI president is Kapil Dev. Now, there is a direct, competition. I won't say clash, but competition of PGTI versus IGPL. And, Kapil and the CEO of PGTI, they have asked someone like, Gaganjit Bhullar to come back to PGTI. How do you take this?
Um, you know, I honestly can't answer that question. It's up to Gagan to answer that question. My thing is, end of the day, the most important thing, you could have two tours, you could have three tours. End of the day, it's a players tour. The players should gain from the tours. And if they can make a good livelihood out of it, nothing like it. So that would be my way of thinking, because you could have differences. You could, go out there and feel like, saying that, oh, you know what, my tour is better than yours, but you can say whatever. End of the day, if the players are gaining, it's fantastic. As a senior player, that's all I can say.
Okay. On this issue, last question, then we will move to the your Japan Open and seniors Open, and also about the Asian Games. The question is, of course, now that these things come up, but when there is a restriction, for example, IGPL doesn't have any restriction whether you play in PGTI or here or there, but PGTI has a restriction that if you play in IGPL, then you cannot play for PGTI and representing India in Asian Games and all that sort of things. So you think that restrictions should be there? I mean, as you said, that at the end of the day, it's for the players to gain. If that is so, then there should not be any restriction whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I think every tour has a certain amount of commitment, which is for the events you have to play. So each tour, like I remember when I used to play, I still have commitments. So I'll give you an example for myself. I play on the Japanese senior tour. My commitment is there's a minimum requirement each player has to play. I have to play 10 events out of the X amount of events they have in a year. If I'm committed to play those 10 events, I can go play anywhere else in the world, right?
Yeah.
On the European tour, my commitment is minimum is 6 events. I can go play after 6 events, I can go play anywhere else. That's why I'm able to play these two tours. I play 10 in Japan, but I play 12 in uh, Europe. So there's no restriction. So I can pick my own schedule up. So the same way, if there is an X amount of events a PGTI player or a member has to play, which could be XYZ, which could be 10 events, if you are doing that and you're committing yourself to that, if and you can go play some other tour for more money or which you can gain from, why not? You should be allowed. I'm committed to the tour, which is my minimum is 10. So why shouldn't I be allowed to go out there and make a better livelihood somewhere else?
Absolutely, but they have cited certain rules and regulations. The PGTI, CAO, and the president himself, and they said that it cannot be possible. Every organization has certain rules and regulation which binds you to play for them only.
So that's up to them. They can answer that. You can ask them this question, to be honest.
All right. Now
But
coming
I've
back
given
to
you
you.
I've given you my thought process
Hmm.
as a player, and this is the way I feel. And every tour has its own rules and regulations. I agree with that also. But if you're committed to X amount of events as a member, you should be allowed to play or gain for, and play other tournaments which are going to make you a better player and get you a better livelihood.